Hello and welcome. In this video I'll be answering some questions on B2B marketing and in particular social media advertising. My name's James Green. I run Evergreen Growth and Marketing, and for the past 5 years we've been helping B2B organisations get more leads more often using the power of social media advertising. And in this video I've got a few questions people have asked around B2B marketing, so I'll crack straight on. So question number 1 is, how can I measure and show the impact of LinkedIn ads to my bosses? So the way this is written, it almost seems like this person wants to justify LinkedIn ads that they've already set up and why they should keep running them and why they should keep investing in them. And basically needs help justifying that what they're doing is a good thing for their bosses and justify the spend and effort as well into it. And look, if you're a couple of weeks in and you're spending like less than £30 a day, anything less than £20 a day isn't going to move the needle at all. But if you're only a couple of weeks in and you're not spending more than £30-50 a day, it could just be like a time factor, and it could be like a budget factor because you haven't reached the necessary eyeballs for this to be a valid test, a valid experiment, and it could be a case of waiting before the results hit. If you are a couple of weeks in and you're spending above £40-50 a day and there's no tangible results yet, that is worrying, because the impact and the reasoning why and just the justification behind running LinkedIn ads or any paid social media advertising campaign or any advertising campaign should be in black and white to the bosses, to people internally. If you're running ads for clients, it should be obvious within a couple of weeks really the impact those advertising campaigns are having, because unless you've set up wrongly, especially for a B2B product or service, all your campaigns should really be focusing on, especially for a beginner campaign, on producing tangible leads, whether that be people filling out forms on your website, whether that be people downloading like white papers or downloading extra PDF you have, or simply going to your contact us page and booking in a call with you, right? That should be what your campaigns are engineered around, not these wishy-washy metrics in terms of, oh, we're trying to get video views, we're trying to get reach, we're trying to get whatever it might be. A lot of people who start LinkedIn ads for a company, they'll do it internally and they go, oh, we want this video to get this amount of views, we want this to reach this amount, and they might spend a couple of £1,000 on it, and then they'll get annoyed at, oh, it didn't do anything. Well, it did what you're asking it to do. You asked it to get video views, it delivered video views. People who view a video or people that engage with stuff aren't necessarily the people who fill out a form, convert and become clients and convert into sales. So that's a big issue in terms of troubleshooting the response to this question, that make sure your campaigns are set up to do what you want them to do and ultimately to drive a bottom line to your business, to drive real revenue, to drive tangible results. So we'd always recommend for a business who might not be doing much advertising to start off with conversion campaigns, one that generates leads, and really saving any of like the awareness metrics campaigns and top of the funnel stuff later on down the line when you're doing some serious numbers already and all the rest of the pieces are in place. If you have set up the campaign for conversions like this, but you're not seeing any results yet, like I said, the budget and time thing could be a factor, but I'll just do some quick troubleshooting of other things that may be happening. One could be the audience. The audience either could be way too broad and unspecific, so it's just going out there and you're wasting money reaching people that don't care, they're not right, you wouldn't ever want to talk to them about your business. So make sure the audience is super specific to who you want to go after. A good way to do this is job role targeting and job title targeting. LinkedIn, you can be super specific with the job titles and really drill down and nail in as many variations of people you want to talk to as possible. Also the industries, and like I say, you can upload company lists, so you can literally plug and play an Excel sheet of company websites that could be taken straight from your CRM and upload that into LinkedIn ads as a target audience. Other end of the spectrum is your audience could be way too narrow, which then it could be deemed as too expensive. And I'm talking if you're layering upon 4 or 5 different variables on top of job titles, on top of company size, on top of like location in the country. Sometimes we've seen quite cost prohibitive campaigns where we're working with a B2B service provider who might only operate in certain areas of the country. And that can be, because you're narrowing it so much, it can be a bit longer to produce results. So that's variable 1 that you need to troubleshoot is the audience. Variable 2 would be the creative, and this is a really important one that so many, especially businesses when they're running it in-house, overlook, is they just produce boring or crap, or both boring and crap ads. They expect, oh yeah, we'll just knock up this whatever image, or a banner produced by the social media team. It's not the right sizing to take up as much mobile phone space on the screen. It's got loads of text in that no one's going to read or pay attention to. It uses a boring style stock image that no one's going to stop scrolling for. Remember, for someone to even notice and like take in and consume the ad, they need to stop scrolling first. And so many businesses we see are producing such boring crap ads. And even with the ad copy, it's really boring. It's not driven to excite, to engage, to attract, to persuade, to convert. It's written in this weird, boring B2B language of I'm a business or talk to business, and I'll try and sell everything my company does, every feature, list every feature and service we provide, and just tell them everything, our whole life story in one. No, your creative ideally should be a video. That's what we've seen works best. Ideally, it should be the first opening seconds and thumbnail should drawing the attention of that user to stop scrolling. So it talks about a specific problem they have, and could even talk about job titles, industry. So attention, are you a insert job title here, working in insert industry here? Do you face insert problem here? Obviously that problem should be related to something you're solving. You want the first bit of the video all to revolve around their problems and basically engage them into that and draw them in, and then obviously lay out your product or solution, your product or service, what you provide, and the benefits that brings them, and why they need to solve that problem, and why you are in the best position to solve that problem, and why your method of solving that problem is much better and much more trustworthy, has got much more of a good track record of solving that problem versus other competitors in the industry or other solutions they could buy, and why they should act upon it now, and an easy, idiot-proof way that they can act upon it. So you literally tell them what to do: click this ad, fill out this form. And that is a strong video. One, it needs to be interesting, it needs to be engaging, it needs to actually stop them from scrolling. Two, it needs to hold and retain their attention whilst they could be scrolling through a million other things as they're pretending to look busy or on the toilet in between meetings. And ultimately it needs to persuade them to convert. Click is like the first step of it normally, to even care about what you're offering. Look, the thing with B2B sales cycle as well is, as well, not often people are going to convert on the first touch point, the first time they see a video, the first time they see an ad, the first time they come to your website. So it is a longer game, but more often than not, the most companies we see, the ad is crap. And one, you need to make it less boring. Two, make it a bit more authentic, a bit more honest. And a really good way of doing that is selfie style video pitches filmed and shown to your dream target audience. So if you are already nailing the objective, the audience, the creative, so the ad copies on fire as well, one issue could be like what's happening after the click, what's happening, like what the page you're directing people to do post-click, is that set up and optimized? Is that persuasive enough? Does that page already get conversions organically? Are there any experiments and A/B tests you could do and start running to basically try and improve that conversion rate? Is the form a bit odd to fill out? Is it clunky? Is the user experience bad on mobile, which could be stopping people from even filling out the screen? Or is the form a bit off? Or does it not look professional enough? Or a really simple one, which can be quite surprising, is the loading speed of the page really slow, so people just give up already, right? And if you are nailing all those things and still not having issues, maybe it's time to either be patient, spend a bit more time on the campaign, or up the budget so it's at significant levels of reach and amount of clicks and to give it enough juice to work. Or equally, I would look at basically all those variables and test something out. Maybe the audience is an easy quick fix. Maybe producing a better quality ad and better video is a longer fix. And doing different iterations, A/B tests, constantly be looking for like those 1-2% improvements on what happens after the click too. So that would be my roundabout answer to how can I show the value. Is it should be easy to show the value if the campaign's set up properly and if it's delivering its objectives right. If you're watching this and that question comes from a place of, look, we haven't run any LinkedIn ads, I really want to, but I want to build a business case for it, then strip it back a bit and explain to your bosses, like, right, the amount of people on LinkedIn, you can even go on LinkedIn ads and start building your audience that would be there. That's a really good exercise to do. Start going to the audience targeting options and showing, right, there are X amount of sales sales managers in our industry, if that's your target audience, right, in the UK. And you can even see on LinkedIn Ads Manager when you're setting up, it will show you approximately how much it would cost to reach this amount of people, how much clicks it would be to reach per day. And that is a really good way of justifying LinkedIn ads and go, look, how else could we be able to do this? If you're doing a conference where people, again, it's a mixed bag of who's actually in the market to buy, then pay attention to you, it would cost you tens, 100 times more to get people there. But this is a much more flexible, much more variable, much more testable way that you could get in front of people's eyeballs that you care about and close that deal. So the LinkedIn audience targeting options, there should be a video somewhere here I'll put around ways and audience basically tips of targeting B2B buyers and LinkedIn ads. And you can take a look there and almost build out what the audience would be and show your bosses. That'll be a really good way of justifying the initial investment and the testing. And if you do go through that, then make sure you're nailing all those points. Next question is, can I use TikTok ads for a B2B service business? To put a long story short, yes, you can, definitely. This is what we do. This is what we've done many, many times. And the campaigns do really work. People go, oh, it's TikTok. It's not for our weird, niche, boring, unsexy B2B printing supplies company. But it can work. I'm sure when you've browsed on TikTok, when you're scrolling through, you've seen people maybe in your industry, maybe some competitors, maybe people in equally boring, I'm saying boring right there, like this, types of B2B businesses getting traction organically on TikTok. They'll be getting not loads of views, not millions of views. That's not what you're going after. You're going after the right people at the right time. And the power that TikTok has and why it's changed social media, not just advertising, is it's all based on like a discovery based algorithm. And the more you engage with it, the more it teaches itself and the more it learns around what you actually interact with, what you're actually engaging with, what you enjoy spending time on. Maybe not enjoy, because sometimes you might be engaging stuff that's not necessarily what you enjoy, but it knows you better than you know yourself, right? And it feeds you more and more and more and more of the type of content that will keep you on the platform for more and more time. So because it's attention based and it's all around discovering new things, if you are a super niche B2B service or product that has a very specific audience, and think around how TikTok works is you watch the first millisecond, you watch the first half a second. If it's not for you, scroll on. How can you make sure your content in the first millisecond, the first second, really calls out to that audience? That's what you should be concentrating on if you're looking at TikTok as a platform, and making sure equally as much as drawing in and grabbing the attention of the people it's right for by inserting their job title, inserting the problems that I just spoke about in the last question, and making sure that it's super specific to them, the audience you care about, and the problems they are facing that you can help solve. If you're doing that, you're also filtering out all the people you don't care about, all the people that you don't sell to, all the people that you don't care about seeing your product. So that's what I'm saying when you don't need billions of views. It's all around getting traction amongst the right people and getting in front of the right eyeballs, and TikTok is amazing at that. All the other platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram owned by Facebook, YouTube, they're also trying to follow suit with this demand and discovery base, which is why you'll see on your feed less about the people you follow when you're scrolling through Instagram and LinkedIn. It's more around other types of content from other people who've posted on topics you've interested in or ones you've engaged with in the past. So that's talking about organic, right? And the paid ads engine is a monster and works very similarly. We've been using it for over a year now for real B2B businesses generating real B2B results. That means leads, that means sales. And because it's super specific and it's also really underused, it's still quite underpriced compared to other ad platforms, it can be really, really well done if used in the right way. As I say, one, there's nowhere near as much competition as other platforms, so it's often underpriced attention. So it's 100% worth testing for that reason alone. Two, it's really amazing to use straight away for a business if you have a decent amount of organic traffic, because straight away you can build a retargeting audience where you're building an audience that's based on your website visitors, based on visitors of your key pages, based on people that have already filled out a form or downloaded a white paper in the past 30, 60, 90 days. You could build a retargeting campaign specifically on TikTok around those audiences and generate immediate results. And three, a mix between organic and paid. It's the perfect way to basically practice and get better at creating engaging video content that if you create a good TikTok ad, that ad will work on LinkedIn really well, it'll work on Facebook really well, it'll work on Instagram really well, because it's the way content is now consumed. And if you can create a good engaging video that people stop scrolling, stay watching, and persuades them to take an action, that's what you need to be able to do on TikTok ads. That will also apply really well to these other ad platforms where maybe it's a bit more expensive to reach your perfect target audience. Plus, compared to all the other B2B companies out there, you'll stand out a mile by creating an interesting, engaging video. Like I said in the previous question, most B2B ad campaigns have boring and crap creative and using stale stock imagery to try and get leads, which just doesn't work. To be 100% transparent as well for TikTok ads, we've been using this for the past 18 months for our own business, our own advertising agency. We wanted to put our money where our mouth was, I think that's a phrase, where basically to get under the hood of a new advertising platform and see if it could work well for B2B like it can do in e-commerce, we spent our own money on our own campaigns on it, and we're really surprised and delighted with the results that TikTok ads can bring for a B2B business. We're not like a sexy e-commerce brand, we're a boring B2B advertising agency that sells to B2B companies. And so you'd think maybe that wouldn't work, but if it can work for us, it can work for your business too. And now this is where the bulk of our leads and clients have come from in the past 12 months, is actually TikTok advertising for B2B niche products and services. TikTok ads gives us a better cost per lead and actually quality of lead compared to Facebook ads and Twitter ads, which is quite surprising in terms of quality was so much higher than those two platforms. I'm talking about the percentage of people that filled out the forms that basically we were already viewed as a decent prospect, the percentage of people who actually showed up to calls, percentage of people we actually closed deals with, and also like the longevity and the quality of the client afterwards. So right now most of our ad spend is TikTok ads and LinkedIn ads. TikTok ads for us are the better one out of Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and then we use the videos that do well on TikTok ads as a cheaper platform with LinkedIn advertising. LinkedIn ads has a really good high quality of lead just because we can be super specific around the sizes of companies, the industries we're going after, and also we can follow up with people in LinkedIn ads through their LinkedIn profiles a bit easier. So that's basically the discrepancy between the different ad platforms, but the best ad campaigns are ones that blend multiple platforms together. So I would definitely say TikTok ads is worth it for any weird, niche, boring, unsexy B2B business to give a try to. I would say there's a reason not to use TikTok ads is if you cannot make a good video. You have someone that's probably not good in front of the camera, you self-conscious to record video, or you don't have the capabilities of creating like a good faceless video where you don't appear in front of the screen. If you can't commit to that or don't have the budget to pay a company like us to do that for you, then I wouldn't do it. And if you're a really niche, super specific B2B product or service and there's not a good amount of organic traffic there just yet, or good amount of traffic through other advertising platforms, maybe look at LinkedIn ads or Google ads first for your budget and use TikTok organic to build up that interest, experiment with the platform, experiment which videos work well with. So yeah, definitely use TikTok ads for a B2B business, especially the more specific, the more niche, the better, because you're going to mean a lot to that few people that actually scroll past it. The next question is, our business's website is really old. Should I push for a new one before we start advertising? I think this is a good question because it's sometimes people that we speak to have this like chicken and egg situation of, oh, I want to advertise to get more clients, I want to get more website traffic in, but I'm a bit self-conscious of the website because we've had the same one for ages, or I'm unhappy with it, whatever it might be. Often a lot of that is a bit more vanity based, because think about it this time, you're going to have seen your website a lot more often than anyone else has come across it. And even if it's ancient, more than a decade old, the key question here before you decide to invest, which can be quite a lot of money, into revamping the website, rebranding it, getting a new one done, is does it convert? Are people who are visiting your website organically actually converting into filling out a contact us form, giving you a call, whatever it might be, the action you want people to do? If your website is still converting quite well, I would not invest into redesigning and revamping your website, and start getting advertising to go so you can get more clients in, more conversions, more leads to go after, and then reinvest the profits from those one deals back into the website at a different time. Because it really depends how old and how crap it is. And I would say a crap website isn't one that necessarily looks bad, it's one that doesn't convert and doesn't get any inquiries or conversions or leads in. So work out that most website platforms that you build on have all this data anyway and different dashboards, but yours might not if it's really old. Is work out the number of inquiries you get, the number of phone calls, the number of contact us forms filled out, the number of downloads, whatever it might be, the key action you want to drive with your advertising campaigns. Work out how many of them come in a month versus the website visitors you get a month. That will give you your conversion rate by a percentage, and it really helps to go a long way to go set some targets, set some benchmarks, and then set some budgets out for your advertising campaigns. A good rule of thumb is to expect any paid advertising on social media, whether it be LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, is the conversion rate is going to be quite a bit worse to start with than your organic one, because people are coming there organically, maybe through referrals, word of mouth, they've met you, they already know who you are, whilst on social media that might not be the case unless you are doing retargeting ads. Retargeting ads, the conversion rate could be a bit higher and is a really good way, like low-hanging fruit, to get quick leads in the door for your business. Paid search ads, so that's Google search ads, is normally quite similar to organic, sometimes a bit better if you're going after really specific keywords that suit your website and suit the landing pages you're going after. So once you've got your conversion rate and the number of inquiries you normally get a month versus the website visitors, it's time to work out like how much of those deals actually come to fruition, what the length of time does it happen from the first time you speak to them to deals getting closed, and also what the value is. The great thing about working with B2B businesses and services is often the value of that customer is very high, because they could be working on a retained service for months and months, or it could be a really specific niche product that you have that they're paying 5-6 figures for. What this means is that sometimes for some B2B campaigns and B2B clients is that one lead a month, if it's a good quality lead, can pay for your advertising for the next 6 months. And obviously you can extrapolate those numbers up. And if you're getting 10 decent leads in a month and you're converting a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them, and then that compounds month on month on month, you're filling up your pipeline further and further, it's helping you to predictably grow your business. Then that advertising can pay for not only improvements to the website, but more staff, more sales staff, better quality products, better quality account managers, whatever it might be. That's the power of effective B2B advertising when you get it right, is it builds this huge compound in terms of compound interest basically, and filling up your deal flow, filling up your pipeline of leads, and making sure that they're of the right quality. Now, if your website doesn't convert at all, or even like if your website doesn't even exist, there's ways around this as well. You can actually still run ads, and we'd recommend for really low converting websites or companies without websites to look at lead forms. So these are ad types and ad formats where you'd have seen them before probably, where instead of clicking on an ad and it going to the company's website or company's product page or inquiry form, it goes to a form housed on that social media platform. So a LinkedIn lead form ad, I'll probably put an example here on the screen to show you. A LinkedIn lead form ad, you click on the ad and it will take you straight to a form housed on LinkedIn, which you can create and basically customize different questions, input different question formats into yourself. And you can do this on Facebook, you can do this on TikTok, you can do this on LinkedIn. You create these lead forms where someone doesn't have to leave the social media platform. They input their details. You can create different automations so they automatically get an email. A lot of this is used for like free downloads and stuff like that. So you probably have come across it before if you've downloaded like a white paper or like a tip sheet or something like that. A lot of businesses use it in that way, but it can be great to generate leads. We use it a lot on TikTok for, like I say, those campaigns that I was talking about before, generate our types of clients, where we ask the same questions we'd asked on a contact us form on a website, but it's just a bit more frictionless. Sometimes the social media platforms like these type of ads and prioritize them because they don't leave the platform, especially on a mobile. Like after they fill out that form, they're scrolling back through TikTok or LinkedIn again, rather than being on your website and seeing a thank you page. Like I say, we use this for a lot of B2B clients for our own campaigns. And one great thing for B2B products or services is obviously it talks about LinkedIn ads and it has all that data on the person's job title, the company size, the company name, the industry already imported in. So if you're running a lead form, that comes automatically through because they're filling out from their LinkedIn profile, right? And a really, really positive thing, a really useful thing when it comes to chasing those leads is you can get it to basically export the LinkedIn profile URL of that user. So instead of trying to guess how to follow them up, or they've got an email address but yours is going to spam, you can actually follow up with them on their LinkedIn profile automatically because it's just a click away. And that is a really, really useful thing with running LinkedIn lead gen forms, and why for quite a lot of B2B businesses we'd recommend doing that initially, because you've just got that such much easier way of qualifying the leads and then following up with them straight away. And another real top tip that we recommend people doing on any of these lead forms on any platforms is basically putting another custom question around verifying their work email address, because often it will have like email address right at the top, but that will get auto-populated and auto-filled in by Facebook, by LinkedIn. And I don't know about you, but the email address that I've got tied to my Facebook and LinkedIn, I never check because it's an email address I created in school well over 15 years ago, and it's just full of spam, right? So, but that is often one that gets auto-populated in. So if you put another box, basically gets them to verify their work email, you'll have a much higher success rate in terms of following up those leads. If you've got any questions about B2B advertising, social media advertising, LinkedIn ads, TikTok ads for B2B, creating engaging video ads for B2B, put them in the comments below. I'll be doing another Q&A video soon. Cheers, bye.